मूषिकवाहन गजाननं मोदकहस्ता गजाननं मूषिकवाहन गजाननं मोदकहस्ता गजाननम्
एकदन्तं विनायकं विघ्नहरं भज गजाननं. Thank you.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A warm welcome to respected Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Rukmini Sridharan, our esteemed guest for the day, Dr. Kuppusamy, teachers, and my dear friends. Our chief guest for the event is Dr. Kuppusamy, senior scientist at the Satyabhama University. We are honored that he has agreed to be the chief guest of our project day. He worked with IGCAR for 34 years as a scientific officer. He is an experienced person who loves to interact with the students. We extend our thanks to our Principal Ma'am for giving us the idea of having a virtual project day. The topic of the project is peace and trust, living in peace and harmony by balancing the 5 elements of nature. The 5 subtle elements, earth, water, air and ether or space, form the basis for all things found in the material creation, from a grain of sand to the complex physiology of every human being. The elements or the Panchamahabhutas, as the Vedas describe them, are the fundamental building blocks of the universe. These 5 elements are the essence of the entire world, both within you and outside. So it is more than essential to connect with them for tapping into the powers of the universe. It might seem rather surprising, but the 5 elements influence behavior, emotions, and overall health. Balancing these elements in just the right way, it is the key to a happy and healthy life. If we take some time to understand the elements and relate to them, we can use them to stay in balance, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. By understanding the positive and negative aspects of each element, we can tune our minds to use each element in the most effective way. The first rule of thumb is that we cannot dominate the elements. Instead, we have to surrender to the elements and respect them. The more we comprehend the Panchamahabhutas, the more we will understand and relate to the universe. The best way to get to grips with these 5 elements is to figure out their basic characteristics and how they relate to physical attributes. A deep knowledge of the 5 elements is needed to solve the problems in life by balancing these elements and ultimately attaining greater health, power, knowledge, wisdom, and happiness. That is why knowledge of the 5 elements forms the basis for yoga and Ayurveda. If any element is impure or out of balance with another, then disease or suffering may result in the human body. Air represents all forms of motion, including blood circulation, breath, thoughts, and locomotion. It is our most basic connection to life. It induces courage to achieve our goals. Water is cleansing, sustaining, and nourishing. It represents adaptability and flexibility, which are necessary for any relationship. Fire represents heat and transformation, maturing and purifying things. It is associated with inner strength, discipline, and motivation. Space represents spaciousness and universal consciousness and defines the distance that needs to be maintained between thoughts and relationships. When ether or space is in balance, there is clear and truthful expression and communication. Earth is the most dense and most powerful of all elements and makes up the solid matter of the universe. The earth element is cool, heavy, and stable. It provides the source of our stability and strength of mind. In our project, each level has taken up one element and the students will be showcasing its properties and attributes. How these properties and attributes affect our life, the energies derived from it, and the need of harnessing those energies in order to live in peace and harmony. We will also showcase how these elements are an integral part of our literature, both vernacular and English. Let us embark on our journey to explore the Panchabhutas or the 5 elements.
नमस्कारः। मम नाम अनिरुद्धः। अहं पञ्चमकक्षायां पठामि। पञ्चभूतात्मकम्। आधुनिककाले पञ्चभूतानाम् आवश्यकानि अधिकानि वर्तते। पञ्चभूतानां विना अस्माकं जीवनं नास्ति। पञ्चभूतानि पृथिवी, आपः, तेजः, वायुः, आकाशः च सन्ति. Everything in nature is made up of 5 basic elements: earth, water, fire, air and space. Knowledge of the 5 elements allows the yogi to understand the laws of nature and to use yoga to attain greater health, power, knowledge, wisdom and happiness. The following verse is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. आकाशात् वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरापः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिवी ओषधयाः ओषधयोऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषाः. The Paramatma has determined that he would create the universe and then created the earth. From earth came air, from air came fire, from fire came water, and earth was created from water. Organisms were created from the earth, and from organisms came human beings. Dhanyavadah.
Can you imagine a day without water? No way. No water, then no life. Good morning, everyone. I am Adityan. I am here to talk about sources of water. Water pollution. Water is the most valuable resources given by our Mother Nature. All living beings need water to live. We use water for drinking, washing and cleaning. Now let us see, where do we get all the water from? Are you ready? There are many sources of water. Rain is the primary source of water. Rain water gets collected in river, pond and ocean to form surface water. Water from the rain also seeps down and gets collected as underground water. We get underground water through well hand pump and tube wells. Aren't they beautiful creation? But these water bodies are getting polluted. How? By dumping garbage and industrial waste into the water bodies. Come, let us join our hands to stop the water pollution. Save water, save earth. Thank you.
வணக்கம், என் பெயர் ரக்ஷிதா நட்ராஜன். நான் பேசுபேர் மலையாளம் பள்ளியில் 1ஆம் வகுப்பு படிக்கிறேன். இப்பொழுது நாம் நீரின்றி அமையாத உலகு பற்றி பார்க்க போறோம். உலகின் அனைத்து உயிரினங்களுக்கும் நீர் மிகவும் அவசியம். இயற்கை நமக்கு நீரை மழை மூலம் தருகிறது. நாம் மழை நீரை சேமிக்க வேண்டும். சேமிக்காமல் விட்டால் வறட்சி ஏற்படும். இதைத்தான் வள்ளுவர் அன்றே தன் குறளில் கூறியுள்ளார். நீரின்றி அமையாத உலகினின் யார் யாருக்கும் வானின்றி அமையாத ஒழுக்கு. உலகில் நிலமும் மரமும் செழிக்க எல்லா உயிரினங்களும் நோயின்றி வாழ நீரை சேமிப்போம். குழந்தைக்கு கட்டும் தொட்டிலை, மலைக்கு கட்டும் தொட்டியை. கண்ணை காப்பது இமை, மண்ணை காப்பது மலை. மரம் வளர்ப்போம், மழை பெறுவோம். துப்பார்க்கு துப்பாய துப்பாக்கி, துப்பாக்கு துப்பாய தூமலை என்ற குறளுக்கேற்ப மழை நீரை சேமிப்போம். நீரின் அவசியம் உணர்த்த உலக தண்ணீர் தினம் மார்ச் 22 கடைபிடிக்கப்படுகிறது. இந்நீர் இல்லாத உலகம் இந்நீர் இருக்கிற உலகம். நன்றி. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. मेरा नाम दीक्षा है. मैं कक्षा 1 से हूँ. आज मैं जल संरक्षण के बारे में बताने वाली हूँ. पानी मनुष्य, पशु, पक्षी और वनस्पति की जरूरत है. पानी को बचाने के लिए बहुत सारे तरीके हैं, जैसे वर्षा जल संचयन, वर्षा जल का संग्रह और भंडारण है. अपशिष्ट आरओ पानी का उपयोग पौधों को पानी देने के लिए किया जा सकता है. अपशिष्ट जल को साफ किया जा सकता है और एसटीपी जल के उपयोग के लिए पुनः उपयोग किया जा सकता है. हमें सावधान रहना चाहिए कि हम नल को ठीक से बंद करें. 22 मार्च को जल बचाओ दिवस मनाया जाता है. दोस्तों, हमें कभी भी दांत साफ करना, बर्तन धोना, कपड़े आदि पर पानी बर्बाद नहीं करना चाहिए. जल है जीवन का आधार, हरा भरा करता संसार. पानी की बर्बादी रोको, इसके लिए सभी को टोको. बूंद बूंद बचाएंगे, अपना कल सुंदर बनाएंगे. जल तो है सोना, इसे कभी नहीं खोना. पानी को हम बचाएंगे, देश में खुशहाली लाएंगे. धन्यवाद.
I'm Kesha Balaji of 1B PSBB Millennium School, here to talk the story about the river. Water is the elixir of life and an important source of survival for all living things on earth. The human and animal race are greatly dependent on water. Water starts as a waterfall from the mountains and forms water bodies like river, pond, lake, ocean, etc. When it rains, the water either goes to the ground or flows downhill into running in water body called rivers. Melting of snow and ice also helps in river formation. The start of the river is called source, and the end of the river is called mouth. The ending stage river flows into cities and villages and industries. Rivers and water bodies helps animals, plants and humans very much. Here we see how the river helps in farming, agriculture and animal life. Rivers provide excellent habitat for Earth's creatures. Here we see how the river starts from the mountain and divides into various paths. One enters villages and helps in farming and animal life. The other part of the river forms a meadow where we can see a bridge constructed over the following river. The other part of the river flows near industries where factories and huge buildings are constructed. Factories use river water for production and manufacturing of various products, but also pollute the rivers in return. The waste water after production is thrown into the river, which pollutes the river and affects the creatures and animals living in the water. Raw materials, plastic, rubber, oil are mixed into nearby rivers, causing suffocation, which leads to the death of animals and fish. We can certainly bring a change in this behavior by preserving and protection over our rivers. We have to behave responsibly by reusing, reducing and recycling materials which will not cause pollution. Let's preserve nature and bring a blue revolution. Thank you.
Hello all, my name is Advait. I am from class 1E. Today I will be demonstrating a few experiments about sink and float. We all know light objects float and heavy objects sink. But this is not always true. Have you ever wondered how a big, heavy ship floats on the water? Magic, is it? You might think this light fork will float and this heavy plate will sink. But see this magic. Abracadabra shoo. Now let's make this fork float. Abracadabra shoo. Ta-da! I have two clay balls of the same size. If I drop this ball, as said, it sinks. But when I make it into a cup, what do you think will happen? Let us see. Ta-da! In the above experiments, we see that the heavy plate floats and the light fork sinks. The same clay floats when it's flat and sinks when it's spherical. This shows us that the shape and the weight of an object determine whether it floats or sinks. Thank you.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பேர் காவ்யாஞ்சலி. இன்று எனக்கு கொடுக்கப்பட்டுள்ள தலைப்பு காற்றின் கீதம். காற்று இசையின் முதல்வன் நீதானே, அதை இயக்கும் கருவியும் நீதானே. முதலில் நான் பேசப் போவது காற்றை பற்றி. காற்று இல்லாமல் நம்மால் உயிர் வாழ முடியாது. காற்றை பார்க்க முடியாது, தொட முடியாது, அதற்கு உருவம் கிடையாது. அது நாம் மூச்சு இழைப்பதற்கு தேவைப்படுகிறது. சில நேரம் வேகமாக வீசும் காற்று வன்காற்று எனப்படும். நீண்ட நேரம் வேகமாக வீசும் காற்று புயல், சூறாவளி எனப்படும். நாம் விளையாடும் பலூன், பட்டம், ஊதல் எல்லாமே காற்றினால் இயங்கக்கூடியவை. அடுத்தது நாம் பேசப்போவது ஓசையை பற்றி. தொல்பொருள் ஆய்வுகள் மூலம் பெறப்பட்ட பொருட்களில் இருந்து பண்டைய காலத்தில் இசை எவ்வாறு இருந்தது என்பதை நம்மால் அறிய முடிகிறது. பழைய காலத்தில் மனிதர்கள் எலும்புகளில் துளைகளிட்டு புல்லாங்குழல் போன்றவற்றை பயன்படுத்தினார்கள். கோயிலோ வீடோ நம் வழிபாட்டு முறையில் தவிர்க்க முடியாத ஒரு ஓசை மணி ஓசை. இந்த மணியின் ஓசை நம் உடலுக்குள் ஊடுருவி மனதை அமைதியடைய செய்வதுடன் நம் மூளையில் உள்ள வலது மற்றும் இடது பாகங்களை முழுமையாக தூண்டுகிறது. இது நாம் கூர்ந்து கவனிக்கும் ஆற்றல் கிடைக்கிறது. அடுத்தது இசை. இசைக்கு மயங்காத மனிதர்களே இல்லை. இசை என்பது ஒழுங்கு செய்யப்பட்ட, கட்டுப்படுத்தப்பட்ட அழகான ஒலி. இசையை சங்கீதம் என்றும் கூறலாம். சங்கீதம் என்பது செவிக்கு இன்பம் தரும் ஒலியாகும். இசை உயிரோட்டம் நிறைந்தது, நம்மையே மறக்க தூண்டும் ஆற்றல் உடையது. காற்றின் மொழியான ஒலியையும் இசையையும் நன்றாக புரிந்து கொண்டோம். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Shri Guru Namaha. I am Yudan Gupta of class 2A and I feel excited to be a part of this subject day. The topic that has been given to us is air. As they all know, air is essential for living. Without air, life on earth will not be possible. Have you ever thought the early men used to communicate with each other? They used to communicate with sounds and signs. But over time, human beings got better control on how they produce sound, which therefore led to the creation of languages. Have you ever wondered how we produce sound? So today I will tell you how air is important in speaking. We have all studied that in each language there are vowels and consonants. Example, the English language has 5 vowels and 21 consonants. The sound of each vowel and consonant is different, and that happens because we all have vocal cords in our body which helps us talk. The vocal cords produce sound when they come together and vibrate as the air passes through them. Look at my chart. These are how the vocal cords look like. This is an open chord. This is when we are speaking. This is a closed chord. This is when we are not speaking and the air is not passing through them. The short sound is produced when less air passes through, and long sound requires more air to pass through. Just try saying the alphabets A and then I and then R. You will feel that the amount of air which gets blown out from your mouth in each alphabet is different. Let me share one more interesting fact with you. On Moon, we cannot communicate with each other because there is no air. So that's why astronauts use special devices inside their spacesuit to communicate with each other. That's all from me. Thank you.
I am Ryan from class 2B. We are going to learn property of air using maths. Do you know air can move things? Yes, I am here to show it with the help of mathematics. Let's get started. For this experiment, you need a straw, a tissue paper, a piece of kitchen foil, a cotton ball, a marble. Now I am going to blow these objects one by one and record the distance. It has moved 27 centimeters. It has moved 13 centimeters. It has moved 18 centimeters. It has moved 25 centimeters. Using measurement, we observe these objects have covered different distance. Let us see which object has covered greater distance. I have arranged the measurements using ascending order. This shows the cotton has covered greater distance and the marble has covered the smallest distance. Thus, with the help of mathematics, we were able to learn this property of air. Thank you. Shri Gurubhi Namaha. The title of my project is Air-Powered Eco-Friendly Car. The aim of my project is to make a car using CDs and some simple materials and run by compressed air technology. Why did I choose this project is, I love cars. Air-powered cars are future vehicles. So when I grow old, my choice would be eco-friendly cars only. The steps I followed was, I made a car using CDs and some simple materials. Then I attached the motor and the propeller with this model. The car is working with compressed air technology. What is compressed air? It means the air pressure is higher than atmospheric pressure. This is my model. So here I am using DC motor and the propeller. This DC motor and the propeller gives compressed air to run the car. Once the motor is on, the air pressure from the propeller is higher than atmospheric pressure. Due to this compressed air, the propeller releases some energy. This energy runs the car. Here, wind energy is converted into mechanical energy. Now I will show how it is working. I hope compressed air vehicles can be a potential mode of transport in future. Thank you.
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। मेरा नाम अनन्या बालाजी है। मैं दूसरी कक्षा में पढ़ती हूँ। आज मैं वायु प्रदूषण के बारे में बताने वाली हूँ। वायु हमारे जीवन का आधार है। वायु बिना हम एक पल भी जीवित नहीं रह सकते हैं। यह हवा साफ होनी चाहिए, लेकिन हम हवा को प्रदूषित करते हैं। जैसे कारखानों और वाहनों से निकलने वाला धुआं हवा को प्रदूषित करते हैं। वनों का विनाश और रासायनिक पदार्थ वायु प्रदूषण के प्रमुख कारण है। यह विश्व व्यापक है। अब बस भयानक नतीजा बाकी है। चारों तरफ बीमारी और महामारी है। दूसरी तरफ पेड़ कटते ही जा रहे हैं। रुक जाना बेहतर है। समझ पाना होशियारी। धुएं वाले कारखाने बंद करो। धुएं वाली गाड़ियां बंद करो। जहरीली हवा को वातावरण से मिटाओ। हमें इस प्रदूषण से मुक्ति पाने के लिए अधिक से अधिक पेड़ लगाकर पर्यावरण की रक्षा करनी चाहिए। पेड़ लगाओ, शुद्ध हवा पाओ, इस धरती को स्वस्थ बनाओ। धन्यवाद।
Hi, my dear little girl and boy. The land is there for us to enjoy. We have a plain that is green, plants and trees to lean, jump and run and have lots of fun. We have hills that are small and easy to climb. The height is good for a hike. We have valleys for the river to flow between the mountains so low. We have fast flowing rivers, the freshwater stream, and the fisherman's dream. We have huge mountains to go, so cold, and got snow to blow. We have lake for us to row a boat, and for the swimmers to float. We have a deep ocean filled with salt water. For a ship to sail, lots of pilots' tale to tell, and also to surf so well. A land surrounded by water. For us to plan a beautiful vacation. We have jungles so dense for the animals to live. Watch the tigers climb and the monkeys swing. Our good land is our to use. So beware not to abuse. We must keep this clean for us to breathe.
Good morning, everyone. This is J. Avinash of Class 3E. Surprise! We are traveling across the world today. Can you believe it? Yes, let us all fly through the different types of landforms. Are you ready for this adventurous trip? The first type of landform is peninsula. It is a landmass bounded by water on three sides. The Arabian Peninsula is the largest one with an area of 12,50,000 square miles. There are a total of 15 peninsulas in the world. The next fascinating landforms are caves, in which our ancestors lived. Caves are natural openings which take more than 1 lakh years to grow big enough to fit a human in it. The world's longest cave is Mammoth Cave, with 420 miles. Friends, whenever we are asked to imagine a scenery, we usually imagine hills with ups and downs and a river flowing between it, isn't it? Yeah, those are the valleys. The world's deepest valley is Kali Gandaki, roughly 6,000 meters deep. But in our solar system, it is the Valles Marineris on Mars. It is 10 times as long as the Grand Canyon and 3 times deeper. Riddle time! It is a series of islands far away from the mainlands with peaceful beaches. Yes, it is the unique archipelago. The Japanese archipelago is a group of 6,852 islands which form the country Japan. So friends, our natural resources are under threat. Remember, we have not inherited this world from our parents. We have borrowed it from our children. So let us conserve all the resources and not let Mother Nature be a once upon a time. Thank you.
தமிழ் மண்ணிற்கு வணக்கம். நிலம் நீடுகிற பேசிட உங்கள் முன் வந்திருக்கிறேன். நம் முன்னோர்கள் இந்த அண்டத்தை ஐவகையாக பிரித்தனர். நிலம், நீர், நெருப்பு, ஆகாயம், காற்று ஐந்தும் கலந்த மயக்கமைந்த உலகம் என்கிறது தொல்காப்பியம். தன்னை தோண்டுபவனை நீர் கொடுத்து தாகம் தீர்க்கும் இந்த நிலமாதா அன்னைக்கு இணையான இனியவளன்றோ. நிலத்தை புவியியல் அடிப்படையில் சங்க இலக்கியங்கள் தொட்டு ஐவகையாக பிரித்தார். காடு காடு சார்ந்த இடம் உலையாகவும், மலை மலை சார்ந்த இடம் குறிஞ்சியாகவும், வயல் வயல் சார்ந்த இடம் மிருதமாகவும், கடல் கடல் சார்ந்த இடம் நெய்தலாகவும், இவற்றைய மணல்வெளி பாலையாகவும் அறியப்படுகிறது. சங்க இலக்கியங்களில் ஒவ்வொரு நிலத்திற்காக நிலம், கடவுள், பூ, மரம், பறவை, ஊர் மற்றும் அங்குள்ள மக்கள் என பிரித்து அவர்களுக்கான ஒழுக்கத்தினைகளையும் வகுத்தனர். சங்க இலக்கியத்திற்கெல்லாம் முன்னரே வள்ளுவர் நிலத்தின் பெருமை உமையாக்கி அகழ்வாரை தாங்கும் நிலம் போல தம்மைகழ்வார் பொறுத்தல் தலை எனவும், நிலத்தில் கிடந்தவை கால் காட்டும் காட்டும் குளத்தில் பிறந்தார் வாச்சல் எனவும் வள்ளுவர் நிலத்தை பெருமை போற்றியுள்ளார். இந்நிலத்தை யாதும் ஊரே யாவரும் கேளீர் என கணியன் கணிந்தார். காணி நிலம் வேண்டுமென பாரதி கூட பாடினாரே. நம் முன்னோர்கள் நிலத்தை கடவுள் போல வணங்கினார்கள். இன்றைய தலைமுறை நிலத்தின் வளத்தை வீணாக்காமல் பேணிட வேண்டும். மனித உயிர் காத்திட நிலவளம் காப்போம், பல்லாண்டு வாழ்வோம். தமிழ் நெஞ்சங்களுக்கு எனது மனமார்ந்த நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। नमस्ते, मेरा नाम जान सहा है। मैं तीसरी कक्षा में पढ़ता हूँ। आज मैं आप सबको भूमि के बारे में बताना चाहता हूँ। भूमि प्रकृति के 5 स्तंभों में से एक है। भूमि हमें खाने के लिए भोजन प्रदान करती है, हमारे घर बनाने के लिए जगह और हमारे मन को शांत करने के लिए सुंदरता प्रदान करती है। भूमि में विभिन्न विशेषताएं हैं। पहाड़ की तरह विशाल, पठार जैसी चोटी, रेगिस्तान की तरह बंजर, मैदान की तरह हरा और जंगल की तरह घना। इस भूमि में पशु पक्षी, जीव जंतु और हम भी रहते हैं। इस बात पर मुझे एक कविता याद आ रही है। माटी से ही जन्म हुआ है, माटी में ही मिल जाना है, धरती से ही जीवन अपना, धरती पर ही सजे सब सपना। सब जीव जंतु धरती पर रहे थे, गंगा यमुना यही पर बहते। सब्जी फल यहाँ ही उगते, धान फसल यहाँ ही उपजे। धरती माँ की देख रेख कर हमको फर्ज निभाना है। आज हमारी पवित्र पृथ्वी कीटनाशकों के अत्यधिक अपयोग और पेड़ों की अनियोजित कटाई से नष्ट हो रही है। हमें ये नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि हमारा अस्तित्व इसी पृथ्वी पर ही है और पृथ्वी से ही है। हम मनुष्यों को ये ज्ञान तो नहीं है कि जिस थाली में खा रहे हैं उसी में हम छेद करने में तुले हुए हैं। अर्थात जिस पृथ्वी ने हमें अनेकों संसाधनों से अवगत कराया है उसी को हम नष्ट करते जा रहे हैं। आइए हम अपनी पृथ्वी को अंतिम सांस तक सुरक्षित रखने की शपथ लें। धन्यवाद।
Gurubhyo Namaha. My name is Ronika. I am going to talk about soil. Soil is formed when rocks break down into very small pieces. Water, wind, and temperature helps the soil formation. It takes thousands of years to form a thin layer of soil. There are 6 types of soil. Alluvial soil. It is the most fertile soil. It is formed when the river deposits silt along the bank. Rice, wheat, jute, and vegetable grow in this soil. Black soil. It is formed from lava rocks. Cotton, wheat, and oilseeds grow in this soil. Red soil. Red soil is red in color because of iron content. It is less fertile soil. Laterite soil. It is formed when minerals are washed away due to heavy rainfall. Tea, coffee, rubber, coconut, and fruits grow in this soil. Mountain soil. It is formed due to weathering caused by snow, rain, and temperature. Tea, coffee, and fruits grow in this soil. Desert soil. It is sandy and infertile. Cotton, wheat, and pulses grow in this soil. Soil erosion. It is the process in which topsoil is removed by rain or wind. The cutting down of trees in large areas is called deforestation. Deforestation is the main cause of soil erosion. Soil pollution. Soil pollution is defined as the presence of toxic chemicals in soil. Main causes of soil pollution are industrial activity, agricultural activity, waste disposal. We should not pollute our land. Save earth, save land. Thank you.
ஸ்ரீ குருபியோ நமஹ. தித்திக்கும் தமிழ் திக்கட்டும் பரவட்டும். முத்தமிழ் தாய்க்கு முதற்கண் வணக்கம். சான்றோர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் பூர்ணாவின் அன்பு வணக்கம். பஞ்சபூதத்தின் ஒன்றான நெருப்பு, அதுவே எனது தலைப்பு. இல்லத்தில் இருள் நீக்கி ஒளி தருவதால் நீ ஜோதி. ஆன்மீக உள்ளத்தில் ஊடுருவி நிற்பதால் நீ அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி. மண்ணோக்கி தலைகீழாய் கவிழ்த்தினாலும் விண்ணோக்கி எறிவது உன் தனிச்சிறப்பு. சுட்டரிக்கும் சூரியனாய் வெயில் தருகின்றாய். வட்ட நிலவாய் வானில் வலம் வந்து குளிர் தருகின்றாய். ஆதிவாசியின் ஆரம்ப ஆயுதம் நீதான். அமரராகி இறுதியாய் அணைப்பதும் நீதான். தெல்ல தெளிவான நெஞ்சில் அறிவொளி நீதான். பிரம்மன் படைத்த பிரம்மாண்டமும் நீதான். உன் சிறப்பை சொல்ல வாய்ப்பு தந்ததும் நீதான். அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி. ஓரெழுத்து ஒரு மொழியாய் தீயும் நீதான். ஈரெழுத்து பிரகாசமாய் ஒளியும் நீதான். மூன்றெழுத்து தெய்வமாய் சுடரும் நீதான். நான்கெழுத்து எரிவாயுவாய் நெருப்பும் நீதான். என்றும் புனிதத்துடன் விளங்கும் பஞ்சபூதமும் நீதான். தீமையை அழித்து புனிதம் சேர்ப்பது போல் நாம் வாழ்வில் அமைதியும் நம்பிக்கையும் கொண்டு தீமையை அழித்து புனிதம் சேர்ப்போமாக. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
My name is Jyotra and I am going to talk about fire. Fire is one of the Panchamahabhutas that the Vedas describe. Fire element plays a vital role in our ecosystem. Natural fire is retro-fired by nature. However, the main cause of wildfire is human carelessness. Let us understand more through an interesting story. Surya and his friends wanted to enjoy the forest. After traveling a long time in the woods, they decided to take some rest. It was very cold and pitch dark, not even a firefly around to give light. So they decided to light a campfire. They quickly collected some firewood and ignited the fire spark with the fire stone. The friends enjoyed the firelight of the bonfire. Suddenly there was a big blow of wind which acted as a ceasefire. The friends thought the fire was put out and fell asleep. The fire monsters were still awake in the bonfire. Here we come, the fire monster, ha ha ha. Let's fly around and make fires everywhere. On the leaves, in the trees, spread away, fire monsters. Soon the entire area was a fireplace.
Surya dial 101 for the fire engine. The firemen put off the fire and explained the causes. Unattended campfires, throwing cigarette butts, burning firecrackers in the wrong place. This is exactly what we do to nature. Because of our carelessness, we witness a fireball of distrust, and then we fight for our inner and outer peace. Let us trust nature and pray to the fire god to destroy our evil thoughts and bless us with positive energy. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Deeksha B and I'm from class 4B. Today I'm going to present you about the discovery of fire. If you see below, I have made a model portraying the time when humans discovered fire. Fire was discovered millions of years ago and has been very important since then. It brought about a dramatic change in the habits of the early humans. Making fire to generate heat and light made it possible for people to cook food. The heat produced would also help people to stay warm in cold weather, enabling them to live in cooler climates. It also helps the human lives by keeping the predators away. My model represents a scene where the early humans are trying to generate a fire by rubbing two pebbles together. After the fire was discovered, it brought the whole family together. People started sitting around the fire during the night time and spent quality time with their family by singing, dancing and eating together. It developed peace in the family and they started to trust each other more than before because they started to communicate with each other. Thank you.
Hello friends, today I am going to talk about fire. The element fire, called Tejas in Sanskrit, is the third of the 5 great elements. Fire is the driving force of all life processes. Fire brings with it a lot of positive energy and power. Fire is the most important innovations which transformed the early raw food eating human being to cooked food eating human being. In the wild, forest fire plays a very important role in bringing old trees down and giving way for the smaller saplings to grow in the sunlight. The fire in the sun is the source of light, is the main reason why living things exist on earth. Fire is the generator of energy in the body, just as the sun is the generator of energy for the earth. Fire liberates energy from its source. Thus, all forms of energy that we consume, including solar, thermal, nuclear and fuels, are generated from fire. The early morning sun can heal our body and give us positive energy. Thus, fire is worshipped across cultures. In the Indian culture, we call it as Agni Dev. In the Japanese culture, they call it as Zura. And in the Egyptian culture, they call it as Ra. Thus, fire is one of the primary reasons for life in the universe and drives all life processes in the world. Let us pray for the power and energy within fire to be used in a peaceful manner for the betterment of humankind and all other living things in the world too. Thank you everyone.
Good morning everyone, my name is Disha. Today I am going to speak about the contribution of math in firefighting. Fire is one among the Panchabhutas. Here we will see more about how we use math in firefighting. Advanced maths such as algebra and geometry have proven to be helpful for fire calculations. Firefighters use mathematics to perform hydraulic calculations. Amount of water required to let the fire down is calculated by amount of water dispensed at what pressure for how much time. Amount of fire is calculated by dividing the area with fire load. There are various types of nozzles used to reach or used to reach distance or increase the pressure in flow. We calculate the fire flow by fire flow is equal to length into width divided by 3. Firefighters are the real heroes who save lives in real time and making the community a safe and a peaceful place to live. Here's a model which I have set up, and a girl got trapped in this house, and the house got burnt. So she dialed 101 for fire service, and they arrived in just 15 minutes and rescued the girl. They used this crane to put out the fire, and they also used this fire extinguisher to put out the fire. Thank you everyone.
வணக்கம், என் பெயர் மேகா. 5ஆம் வகுப்பு சி பிரிவு. ஆகாயம். வானம் பஞ்சபூதங்களில் மிக முக்கியமாகும். வானம் பூமியின் மேற்பரப்பில் விரிந்திருக்கும் பரந்த வெளியை குறிக்கும். வானத்தை நாம் ஆகாயம், அண்டம், மேகம், பிரபஞ்சம் எனவும் கூறலாம். ஆகாயம் அனைத்திற்கும் அப்பாற்பட்டது. இந்த உலகில் அறிவியல் மற்றும் ஆன்மீகம் இரண்டிற்குமான முழு தெளிவில் ஆகாயம் முக்கிய பங்காற்றுகிறது. இத்தகைய தனித்துவம் உள்ள ஆகாயம் பற்றி பார்ப்போம். அறிவியல். சூரிய கதிர்வீச்சு தடுக்கவும், பூமியின் தட்பவெப்பத்தை சமன்படுத்தவும், மழையை பொழிவிக்கவும் ஆகாயம் அவசியமாகும். இந்திய விஞ்ஞானிகள் தொடங்கி நாசா விஞ்ஞானிகள் வரை இன்னும் அதிகம் ஆராய்ந்து கொண்டிருப்பது வானத்தை மட்டுமே. இலக்கியம். திருவள்ளுவர் கூட கடவுள் வாழ்த்திற்கு அடுத்தபடியாக வான் சிறப்பு பற்றி தான் அதிகாரம் எழுதியிருக்கிறார். அதில் 10 குறள்களும் முத்துக்கள். அதில் முக்கியமான துப்பாக்கு துப்பாய துப்பாக்கி துப்பார்க்கு துப்பாய தூவும் மழை என கூறி வானில் இருந்து மட்டுமே கிடைக்கும் மழை பற்றி உண்பவருக்கு தக்க உணவுப் பொருளை விளைவித்து தருவதோடு பருகுவோருக்கு தானும் ஒரு உணவாக இருப்பது மழை என கூறுகிறார். பழமொழி. வானம் நினைத்தால் மழை, மனிதன் நினைத்தால் வினை என கூறி வானம் அனைவருக்கும் நன்மை தரக்கூடிய மழையை பொழிவித்து இந்த உலகை காப்பாற்றுகிறது என்று இந்த பழமொழி எடுத்து கூறுகிறது. வானம் சுழ்ந்தால்தான் மண்வளம் சிறக்கும் என்பது என் ஆழமான கருத்து. கடவுள். ஆதி காலத்தில் இருந்து மனிதர்கள் ஏதாவது சாதனை செய்து முடித்தவுடன் ஆகாயத்தை அண்ணாந்து பார்ப்பதை வழக்கமாக வைத்திருக்கின்றனர். இதற்கு காரணம் அங்கு ஏதோ ஒன்று இருக்கிறது என்கின்ற உண்மை தெரிந்துள்ளது. பேரண்டத்தையும் விரங்கானவிய ரகசியங்களையும் தன்னுள்ளே அடக்கியவரான பரமேஸ்வரன் சிதம்பரத்தில் திருமூலநாதராக எழுந்தருளி ஆகாசலிங்கமாக ஆகாயத்தின் தத்துவத்தை உணர்த்துகிறார். இயற்கை. வான்கோளம். வானிலில் வானமானது வான்கோளம் என அழைக்கப்படுகிறது. இந்த வெளியிலே சூரியன், நிலா, விண்மீன்கள் போன்றவற்றின் அசைவுகளை அவதானிக்கின்றோம். வானவில், வடமுனை ஒளி, மின்னல் என்பன வானத்தில் காணக்கூடிய சில இயற்கையான தோற்றங்கள் ஆகும். வாழ்வு முன்னேறிக் கொண்டே இருக்க விரும்பும் ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் வானம்தான் எல்லை என்று கூறாத கவிஞர்களே இல்லை. இத்தகைய பெருமையுடைய ஆகாயம் போன்று நம் எண்ணங்களும் செயல்களும் இருக்க வேண்டும். நன்றி.
Shri Gurabhyo Namaha. I am Tanisha from 5C. Today my topic is effects of moon on the earth, tides and eclipse. Tides are the rise and fall of sea level. This is caused due to the combined gravitational force of sun, moon and the rotation of the earth. On the basis of height, tides are classified as high tides and low tides. High tides refer to water bulging up on the earth's surface, and low tides when water level drops. High tides occur on the side of the earth nearest to the moon due to gravity, and farthest from the moon due to inertia of water. These are the tides produced by the moon, these are the tides produced by the sun, and this is the resulting tide. So we can move to eclipse. When the sun or moon completely or partially disappear because one of them is passing between the earth and other. There are 2 types of eclipse, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. First we can see solar eclipse. When the moon comes between the earth and sun, solar eclipse will occur. The moon will block the sunlight the earth gets usually. Now we can see what is lunar eclipse. When the earth comes between the sun and the moon, lunar eclipse will occur. There are 2 types of lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse and a partial lunar eclipse. Total lunar eclipse will occur when the earth totally covers the moon. A partial lunar eclipse will occur when the earth partially covers the moon from sunlight. There are many other moons in the solar system, but the earth moon is much bigger than any other. Thank you.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am Akshita from 5E. Today I am going to talk about how we can learn maths from looking at the constellations seen in the sky. In the earlier days, people were mesmerized on seeing the stars in the sky. They imagined many shapes in the groups of stars. Imagine the stars to be points in a huge plane. When we join them with imaginary lines, they form different shapes. We know that constellation is a group of stars which forms recognizable shapes. Polygons are two-dimensional shapes. They are made of straight lines. The group of stars which form a polygon is called Capricornus. It is a 12-sided irregular concave polygon. The most famous constellation, the Big Dipper, is trapezium shaped at one end and looks like a ladle or dipper. Zodiac signs are symbols created from the constellations. Polygons are also seen such zodiac signs which are both open and closed. Example, Libra and Capricorn. The Libra constellation gives us a view of a triangle, whereas the Phoenix constellation gives us a view of a quadrilateral. We can understand and learn more about polygons by observing other constellations similar to the ones we have discussed now. Thank you.
Hi all, my name is Reenan. I am from class 5A. Today I am going to talk about the phases of the moon. The phases of the moon are the different ways the moon looks from Earth over about a month. As the moon orbits around the Earth, the half of the moon that faces the sun will be lit up. The different shades of the red portion of the moon can be seen from Earth are known as phases of the moon. The phases of the moon are new moon, waxing crescent moon, first quarter half moon, waxing gibbous moon, full moon, waning gibbous moon, 3/4 half moon and waning crescent moon. The cycle repeats once a month, every 29.5 days. All of these phases together are called as moon phase. The sun always illuminates one half of the moon. Since the moon is tidally locked, we always see the same side from Earth. But there is no permanent dark side of the moon. The sun lights up every different sides of the moon as it orbits around the Earth. It's a fraction of the moon from which we see reflected sunlight that determines the lunar phase. After new moon, a slice of reflected sunlight becomes visible as waxing crescent. When the moon phase is increasing, the phase will be of waxing, and when it decreases, it's waning. The lunar crescent grows until first quarter moon. As the sunlit portion of the moon continues to increase to more than half of the moon's phase, the moon turns waxing gibbous. Then, after the full moon, the sunlit portion begins to decrease again to make a waning gibbous, and then a third quarter moon. The slice of sunlight continues to decrease until the moon is a waning crescent and then a new moon. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tanisha. I am studying in class 5B. Today I am going to be telling the poem Second Star of Mars. You might want to grow up to be a boxer or vet. You might want to grow up to fly a giant jumbo jet. Well, the people in this world with a smile on their face are not in this world. They are astronauts in space. So, will you come with me to Mars? Where there is no people, towns or cars? I am packed and ready to go. But there's room for two in my rocket, you know. When we go there, we'll have lots to explore. Mountains, craters, volcanoes, and more. So let's get going. We can't be late. The Martins have dinner already on the plate. And don't forget to take a drink. There's no water on Mars. It's run out, I think. It's pretty cold out, so take a coat and heavy boots so you don't float. And now that you're ready, we head to the stars. First stop Earth, second stop Mars. Thank you. A poem by Koli Daheg.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I, Akshara Prasad of Class 4E, feel privileged to present the closing statements on the PSBB Millennium School OMR Annual Project Day topic, the Panchabhutas, based on the theme Peace and Trust. Peace is more than just the absence of war. It is a mutual respect and relationship between individuals and groups. It ensures disputes are handled with tact and understanding. At the heart of a relationship is trust. Trust cannot be forced. It develops with time and consistency in the relationship. The key to peace and trust lies not only outside but also within. A healthy and happy body, mind, and soul brings harmony from within. This in turn leads to harmony in the community. The Vedas has recognized the fact that peace and trust is obtained by surrendering to the 5 elements or the Panchabhutas that rule our body and the cosmos. The 5 elements influence behavior, emotions, and overall health. Balancing these elements in just the right way is the key to a happy and healthy life. We, the children of classes 1 to 5, have through our presentations tried to elaborate on the respect and peaceful use of the 5 elements for the sustenance of our universe. Hence, let us all strive to bring a balance in the 5 elements both within and without to build a peace-loving and trustworthy universe. Thank you.
मनोमंगलम Gurubhyo Namaha. Life is beautiful, not because of the things we see or do. Life is beautiful because of the people we meet. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our distinguished chief guest, Shri and Dr. P. Kuppuswamy, Senior Scientist at Satyabama University, Chennai, who has kindly consented and graced the occasion of our annual educational project, Panchabhutatmakam. Dr. P. Kuppuswamy is currently working as a senior scientist at the Center for Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. He was instrumental in setting up the Center of Excellence for Energy Research, funded by MHRD, Government of India, at Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. As a former head X-ray diffraction and surface engineering section of Physical Metallurgy Group of Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, he has commissioned several world-class facilities of thin film deposition units and X-ray diffraction systems. He has significantly contributed towards the development of components of breeder reactors and has wide experience in the development and characterization of high TC superconducting thin films, supercapacitors, and solar cells, to name a few. A man of impeccable record, he has also contributed towards enriching the society by imparting his knowledge. He has published about 210 papers in the peer-reviewed journals and in the proceedings of international and national conferences. He has also authored 20 book chapters, received 18 Best Paper Awards, 3 metallographic contest awards, and filed 8 patents to his credit. He has been the principal investigator of around 7 government-funded projects. He has worked at Helmholtz Zentrum, Berlin, Germany, as DAAD Fellow, Indo-German Exchange Program, and at National Institute for Material Sciences, Tsukuba, as a Fellow of Japan Society for Promotion of Science, Tsukuba, Japan. He has received the Certificate of Outstanding Contribution in Reviewing from the Journal of Nuclear Materials, Elsevier, for the year 2017, and Reviewer Appreciation Certificate from Transactions of the Indian Institute of Metals, Springer. He has presented papers and chaired sessions during his visits to several countries, which include the USA, France, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, and Singapore. He is a life member of Indian Physics Association and the Indian Institute of Metals. He has also written 2 poetry books in Tamil, namely Marangalai Vettada Manidharai Valom and Tamilaga Veera Veralatran Vetri Nayagan, and published science articles in Kalai Kadir and Dinamani. He was one of the founder editors of the Tulir, the Tamil science magazine for children. People who shine from within don't need the spotlight. We are privileged to have you amidst us today, sir. A hearty welcome to you.
Thank you, madam.
Sir, we would request you to address the gathering and bless these children with your words, sir.
Yes, I am extremely privileged to be here to share and watch the fantastic program organized by PSB Millennium. It is a wonderful event, which in fact I was enjoying with my grandchildren last 2 weeks back. But today I enjoyed with around 25 grandchildren. That itself speaks volumes of science and technology, what is going on in PSB Millennium. I'm very proud to see the excellent performance of the entire program. If you want to name the prizes, I want to give prizes for every kid. Each kid is a gold medal winner. Okay, I wish them all grand success. First of all, I must thank the management, the principal who has invited me to come over here and speak for and witness the excellent program. And secondly, I thank all the brilliant children, the way in which delivered. Okay, fantastic. I learned many things. What I learned so far, I feel I have not learned. Like, it is like counting a small pebble on the beach. Okay, I learned today, I collected around 25 another pebbles. Okay, I will carry with me as a memory of this wonderful event. First of all, I must say very gracefully, the management, the way in which they give the titles to the students. They given water for class 1. I do not know. I just now got the idea why they would have given it. As the baby is born freshly from a womb of a mother, they feed water. First to check whether the child is active. Then the boy, they will take him to, the father will take him out to show to the sky. So the 5th standard fellow got the title Sky. The aim is to live on earth, you need water. But you have to go to the level of a sky. So the way in which you're given the titles, amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, I really enjoyed because you have taken the different topic, very difficult topic. For the kids of 1st standard to 5th standard, it is far beyond their capable. But I congratulate each and every teacher of each class, particularly every class. They did very well, very well. Especially the brilliance shown by the 1st year and the 2nd year, fabulous, fabulous, really fabulous. Except for small technical issues, which is very, very marginal, which even a scientific level people I address in many meetings. There also such problems used to come. Forget about all these things. But I just want to share as a part of this event. All the events are very good. I just want to motivate the kids. They should aim upper level. You know who is the youngest person who got the Nobel Prize for Peace? Yeah, it is a small girl of 17 years from Pakistan. Her name is Malala Yousafzai. Okay, she got the Nobel Prize at the age of 17. Please aim for that. What she did the very small thing. She fought for Pakistani girl children who are deprived of education. Education is very, very important. Okay, even at the age of 14, she went to the UNESCO, USA, and fought for the freedom of the Pakistani people. Therefore, everybody recommended her name as the Nobel Prize Peace winner. Why peace is important? Why world war has come? All the world war were fought only for peace. Okay? So peace is very, very important. When you do not have a trust on each other, peace will not be there. So trust and peace go together. Okay? Like earth, water, then land, all are mixed together. But if you want to cook, you need to have a fire. But if you take a food, it's an amalgamation of everything. 5 elements are there in your food. You just look at it. The rice, you seed it on your land, you water it, you cook it, you need a fire. Okay? Like that, you put everything. Without oxygen, without air, you cannot cook it. And the way evaporation comes, evaporation goes to the sky. So all the 5 elements you will see in a normal food which is being cooked in our daily day. Our Hindu religion, highly associated totally with the 5 elements of earth. You know about it. All the 5 Shivalingas, if you go to 5 sthalas, Shiva sthalas, okay, you go to Annamalaya temple in Tiruvannamalai. It is a temple of fire. Shiva stands as a fire. You go to Chidambaram, he is a space, it's a significance of space. You go to, for example, the Yagambarishwara temple in Kanjipuram. Is a very, very important temple. You all know about it. And that is also stands for the earth. Okay. And we have Sri Kalahastis temple in Andhra Pradesh. Okay. For air. Okay. Thillai Nadarajan temple, as I told you already, for the god for the fire. Annamalaya temple, you know about it. And Jambukeshwara temple, which is in Trichy, is very, very famous. It is a symbol of water. So our people, even in the olden days, visualize the entire universe, entire the earth made only of these 5 elements. Very happy that the religion also taught about how to know about 5 elements. Okay, we lived with 5 elements. In fact, the entire India, the Indian culture, okay, if you see read carefully, all made up of these 5 elements. I'm very happy, very, very truly happy that I learned many things today. Okay, and with all these small children coming forward together on a virtual platform, okay, I showed that they kept a lot amount of peace within. It's all because of the trust shown by the teacher. Okay, the teacher had a good amount of trust on the children. Similarly, the students had a good amount of trust on the teacher. Okay, both together brought great amount of peace at the end of the event. Okay. Finally, the event has gone to the highest level. I'm very, very happy. PSB Millennium is doing a wonderful job. And especially this, your center, even at this beginning level of first standard to fifth standard, see the magnificence, the level with which you have today performed. I'm very sure once the pandemic period is over, you will invite the parents also to maybe like an annual day. I know you are known for conducting several events. I don't want to name all the things, right from annual day to sports day, so from cultural events and taking people to the tours, all have enriched them well. I request them, if the time permits, you please take them, all the kids, to Mahabalipuram. Last week, I took my grandchildren to the Mahabalipuram. There is an important place called Seashell Museum. Please take them for a Seashell Museum. A wonderful place to enjoy for the children. Okay, once the pandemic is over, please take them. They will learn a lot of science about the marine technology. How a single man built the entire museum. That is one of the biggest museum in Asia and in Tamil Nadu at least. Okay, and they will learn a lot of things. Children are very, very blessed people. Having good teachers is another great blessing. I'm very sure each one performed very well. Okay, I'm extremely very happy about it, and I go with great amount of happiness to my house, and I will share my happiness with my wife and my grandchildren. Okay, I'm extremely thankful to Madam for inviting me again to share this session and also watch the event, because I've been talking and also been listening several talks of scientific level, but going to this level at the same time learning to a large level is something amazing to me. I really enjoyed the entire show, and I wish a great amount of success to your college, your institution, and children, especially children who are the budding scientists, as Kalam always says. Okay, and they all wish them a great amount of success in future. Thank you very much. Thank you, madam.
Ma'am, we request you to speak, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you very much, sir, for being very patient and watching the performance, the presentation of all our students. As you rightly said, because we are under the banner of PSBB Padma Sheshadri Balabhavan, and we were privileged and honored to be under the direct mentorship of Dr. Mrs. Y.G. Parthasarathy. Unfortunately, although ma'am is not present now physically, but we do believe that she will keep blessing us in all our endeavors, because ma'am truly believes in the all-round development of the children. the holistic development of the children, and she believes learning by doing is the best way that we can empower our children. So we follow her footsteps and we continue to do our best in shaping up our little, as you rightly said, we have to have a good foundation over which we can build the building, and these children, grow up and go into the middle school, high school, and then they enter the college. So whatever is delivered at the foundation level, at all levels, is very, very important. Especially we need to pay attention to the foundation, what we are delivering. So we are truly thankful to you for accepting our request and sharing with our children and your kind motivating words. Thank you very much, sir. And my very big thanks to the organizing team of teachers, the coordinator, Mrs. Bharati, and all the level guides of classes 1 to 5 who have brainstormed, discussed, and came up with this idea of uniting all the 5 elements of nature. Basically, we wanted to convey that unless we are going to respect the 5 elements of nature, we may not be able to live in peace over a period of time. So very, very important to respect all the 5 elements of nature. That is the important message we wanted to convey through this. And a very, very big thanks to the parents, without whose support we would not be able to host this wonderful presentation. Although we have given the idea, we can see the efforts of the parents in making the projects, training their kids, training their wards, and video recording it and sending it to us. So thanks a lot to our dear parents. So we are what we are only with the support, cooperation of our wonderful parents. Thank you so much. And my dear students, really, as sir said, I was amazed at the confidence level of children from classes 1 and 2 with the confidence with which they spoke. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. The only thing that I would like to say, you all should adhere to the instructions given. When the presentation was being played, we could understand that the audio was not there. So, all of us are on the virtual platform. We need some time to address it. Today, I also understood and experienced the challenges that the teachers face in everyday class. Okay, you need to cooperate and adhere to the instructions of your teacher. Right? Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the organizing team. Over to Srividya.
The air we breathe, the water we drink, the land we inhabit, the warmth of fire that sustains life, and the sky with limitless possibilities of peace and trust. The Panchabhutas not only reflect our lives, but also the majesty of our Creator. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My name is Sanchita. I am from class 4C. It's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks and acknowledge the effort of all those who worked hard to make this Project Day celebration happen. On behalf of our school, I convey our sincere thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Kuppuswamy, who spared time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your inspiring thoughts, sir. A special mention to our respected and beloved principal, Mrs. Rukmani Sridharan, for being the catalyst in stimulating us to do our best and acting as a pillar of strength. An event like this cannot happen overnight. It requires a lot of planning and a bird's eye for details. So, I would like to thank all the teachers without whom we will not be able to achieve excellence. Next, I would like to thank the parents for giving us a rock-solid support system and encouragement. Every child is a scientist, keenly observant. So, last but not the least, I would like to thank all the participants for displaying their talent. I once again thank everyone for making this Project Day a grand success. Thank you.